Got the transmission in for the SCX10 that I'm working on. I got the Metal Gear transmission from Axial, just a 3-gear set to go into the transmission. It should be a simple swap in and out with a little bit of grease. I use red and tacky commercial grease, so that should go in pretty quick. And also to help support the brushless, I got the MIP CVDs, all steel, pretty heavy, so these will be going on as well. These are both bolt-on upgrades, pretty much. Just the gears require the transmission to be opened, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to install these and then show afterwards. So now the SCX10 has all steel transmission. There's the MIP drive shafts installed. They went in fairly well. I had to trim the gear cover just a little bit. A lot of guys just remove it altogether. I am not a fan of running an open spur gear by any means. I just don't like it. I think it's all wrong. That's a personal preference. Plenty of people run open spurs with no problem. I'd say the majority of my hobby shop runs open spurs with no problem. It's just something I won't do. But anyway, to keep the spur on, I had to trim it right there at the bottom where the drive shaft kind of met it a little bit. It's pretty hard to get on camera, but just a little bit of trimming, not too much, nothing crazy. Also had a little bit of odd oscillation going on. The same thing I experienced with my Dingo when the drive shafts weren't aligned. But the problem here wasn't even the drive shafts weren't aligned. It's that the set screws weren't on the same side. So as I was driving, the front was trembling quite a bit. The first thing I thought was that the drive shafts weren't aligned, so I looked at that. All the drive shafts were aligned. The only thing that I noticed that was off were the pins. They give you a couple set screws to attach your drive shaft to the axle. They only provided enough set screws for one set screw per side. As you can see, there's a set screw there, and if you look on the other side, it's empty. Now that's being held by the one set screw. It's firmly in the hole, and the drive shaft isn't going anywhere. But when these two pins weren't on the same side, you see there's the set screw, and there's the other set screw. If I turn it one revolution, there's the hole where on the other side is the set screw. Same thing on this side. Those were opposite, meaning I had the set screw on one side and the hole on the other side, and that caused the weird oscillation. Aligned them both on the same side, oscillation gone, truck smooth as ever. So yeah, that's it. The Metal Gear tranny, that went in simple as it could. I mean, there wasn't going to be any problems with that, and other than the little bit of oscillation I encountered, the MIP drive shafts went in just fine. So it means we have a bulletproof transmission, all steel drive shafts. I'm going to upgrade the final gears in the axle to the HD, the Axial HD, just to carry the heavy duty theme all the way through and transfer power all the way down to the wheels. So there's no problem. There's never be any problem. This thing shouldn't have any problem ever. So yeah, that's it. All steel transmission on the SCX10. There's a few more upgrades and I'll be driving this thing through the woods.